When love comes without warning. Sometimes in life, you are not looking for anything. You are not waiting for a miracle. You are not searching for love. And yet that is exactly when it finds you. Hashtag, the night everything changed. It was a quiet autumn evening in a small coastal town in California. Rain was falling softly on the pavement. Streetlights shimmered in the puddles like trembling stars, and the ocean wind carried the smell of salt and wet leaves through the air. Alex was walking home from work. He was 33 years old, a successful engineer, stable income, a comfortable apartment, a life that looked perfect on paper. But deep inside, he was alone. After several painful disappointments, Alex had stopped believing in love at first sight. He believed in logic, in caution, in emotional distance, in his heart had been locked for years. The rain suddenly grew heavier, so he stepped into the nearest café, just to wait out the storm. ITLCR inside. It was warm. The air smelled of coffee, cinnamon, and fresh bakery. Soft music floated gently through the room. And then he saw her. She was sitting by the window. In one hand, a cup of hot chocolate. In the other, a small child's hand. Next to her sat a little boy, about 5 years old. He was drawing something in a notebook and proudly showing it to her from time to time. She smiled at him, a tired smile, but full of love. And in that exact moment, something inside Alex broke open. Not loudly, not violently, but deeply. He didn't know her name. He didn't know her story. He didn't know her pain. But he knew one thing. He was in love. Not slowly, not carefully, instantly. It didn't ask for permission. It didn't wait for logic. It simply happened. End of her name was Emma. Alex would learn that a little later that same evening, when fate gently pushed their lives together. At first, he just watched. The way she adjusted the boy's jacket. The way she wiped chocolate from his lips. The way tiredness and tenderness lived together in her eyes. Her beauty was not loud. It was quiet. The kind of beauty that carries hidden scars. When the boy accidentally dropped his pencil under Alex's chair, Alex bent down, picked it up, and handed it to him. "Here you go, champ," he said with a smile. The boy smiled back instantly. "Thank you." Emma lifted her eyes, and their gazes met. For a few seconds, the world disappeared. "Thank you," she said softly. "You're welcome," Alex answered, his heart suddenly beating too fast. End quote. The truth that changes everything. They started talking. Carefully, slowly, as if both were afraid to scare the moment away. About the rain, about the cafe, about how unpredictable the weather was in this town. Then Alex gently asked, "Is he your son?" Emma nodded. "Yes. His name is Lucas." There was something in her voice that made Alex feel uneasy. After a pause, she added, "I'm divorced." Alex didn't know what to say. "My husband left when Lucas was still a baby. Another woman. Another life. Another family." She took a sip of her drink, hiding her eyes. "For a long time, I didn't believe anyone could truly want me again. Especially with a child." Those words hit Alex like a storm, because in that moment, he felt exactly the opposite. He didn't see a woman with a past. He saw a woman with strength. And he saw a child who had made her heart even bigger. Unless a choice made by the heart. The rain outside slowed down. The cafe began to empty. Lucas fell asleep on Emma's shoulder. Alex didn't want the evening to end. Before they left, he finally said, "Would it be okay if I walked you home?" Second, Emma hesitated. Just for a second. Then she nodded. Yes. They walked slowly through the wet streets. The boy slept peacefully in her arms. The streetlights reflected in puddles beneath their feet. At her door, Alex stopped. At her door. "I'd really like to see you again," he said quietly. Emma looked at him for a long moment. Then she wrote her number on a small piece of paper and placed it in his hand. "Call me," she whispered. And then, where love truly began. That night, Alex didn't sleep. And because the first time in many years, his heart was alive. And Emma stood by the window of her apartment, watching the streetlights below. For the first time in a long while, she felt hope. Not loud, not dramatic, but real. And somewhere between a rainy night, a sleeping child, and two wounded hearts, a new love had begun. Not easy, not simple, but sincere. And sometimes, that is the strongest kind of love of all.